is the fact of silence itself. This single technological limitation, the fact that early film technology could not initially support synchronized sound, instigated years of experimentation as filmmakers tried to meet a growing demand for narrative with films that were intelligible and appealing. Had sound been part of the birth of film, as it was with television, the history of cinema might have unfolded differently, and film itself might look unrecognizable. It took decades for television to acquire the visual sophistication that had long defined the cinema, and it did so largely through importing the techniques and technicians of the film industry. The reasons for these media differences are manifold, but a major factor is the simple fact that television always had recourse to sound, while film did not. Insofar as film is a visual medium, one wherein imagery predominates over sound, that status is a result of the 3 decades filmmakers spent refining the medium's visual apparatus to accommodate the absence of sound. In a sense, all film is silent film, insofar as the very substance of what it means to make a film first came into being in the silent era. This is not to say that silent film's only measure of importance lies in what it bequeathed to later cinema. Equally significant are the practices that existed only in those early years. One of the great mistakes of film scholarship for many years was its propensity to see the silent era only as a birthing ground for sound-era film technique, an essentially evolutionary view that rendered the period inherently primitive. In fact, the silent era was a period of great sophistication, both in the artistry of its films and in the ingenuity of the systems devised for making, distributing, and displaying those films. The legacy of those films and of those systems is one proof of the period's continuing relevance. Yet, even those aspects of the silent era that seem most remote from us in the 21st century have much to teach us historically, and much to reveal to us artistically. Numerous silent films remain among the most iconic the medium has ever produced. Just mention the rocket hitting the eye of the man in the moon from George Méliès' A Trip to the Moon, about a fantastical turn-of-the-century journey into outer space, or the terrifying robot from Fritz Lang's Metropolis, about a workers' revolt in a dystopian city of the future, and film buffs will instantly call the images to mind. Some of the period's greatest stars remain household names more than a century after they rose to fame, as the ongoing popularity of Charlie Chaplin or the enduring image of Greta Garbo attests. And many of the cinema's most revered filmmakers owe their careers in part or in whole to the silent era. From John Ford to Cecil B. DeMille to Alfred Hitchcock, to name just a few. Even the silent era's profound differences from later cinema can prove illuminating. In an age when Hollywood movies dominate the world box office, it is important to remember a moment when the United States did not initially rank among the world's top film producers. From Europe to Asia and beyond, the story of silent film is truly global. And it is also a far more diverse tale than many might assume. In Hollywood and elsewhere, women played an outsized role in the development of silent film as an industry and an art. As directors, producers, screenwriters, editors, and in many other capacities, all at numbers that would stagger a modern studio executive. Even for those kept out of such positions on the basis of ethnicity or race, the film medium itself offered a chance to tell stories that might not otherwise be told, and bring into focus images that the mainstream culture was at pains to ignore. This is also a vital part of the history of silent film, and the work of such female filmmakers as Alice Guy Blaché and Lois Weber, Asian-American entrepreneurs such as Marian Wong, or the African-American director Oscar Micheaux, are as important to that story as anything by D.W. Griffith or Cecil B. DeMille. In its landmark achievements and its forgotten innovations, the legacy of silent film remains with us still. It is part of nearly every movie that we watch. The story of silent film is one of motion picture history's greatest tales, a story with global reach and an expansive cast of characters. This book offers an overview of that story, both in its distant past and in the ways in which its legacy is still unfolding. Chapter 1. The 3 Ages of Silent Film. In 1923, comedian Buster Keaton released 3 Ages, his first feature film as co-director and star. Conceived as a parody of D.W. Griffith's 1916 epic,
To keep listening to this audiobook for free, click the link in the description. It will take you to a free Audible trial where you can listen to this and many other books for free for 30 days.